My ninth novel, The Last Thing She Told Me, tells the story of 4 generations of women from the same family and the impact of the secrets that have had on their lives. It centres around Betty, who is the great-grandmother of the family, and starts with her on her deathbed telling her granddaughter Nicola that there are babies at the bottom of the garden and to look after her babies. Sadly, Betty dies before she can say any more or answer any of Nicola's questions. When I came to write this book, I tried to think of somewhere where you could keep secrets for a long time. And I came up with Pecket Well in the Calder Valley in West Yorkshire. It sits just up on the hills above Hebden Bridge. And it's a stunningly beautiful place. But there are lots of old houses here, and I actually picked one out that I think is where Betty lives, and I still do, as I drive past every time and say, that's Betty's house. And it's so important for me to have that sense of place as I'm writing, and I can see the characters moving through villages, towns, across the landscape, and I understand where they live and where the story is set. And I do love that about setting all my stories here. The story is very much about shame, and in particular the shame that society makes women and girls feel about the consequences of things that have happened to them and very often have been forced upon them. And although I started off particularly focusing on the shame of women of an older generation were made to feel, I soon realised that actually it's about the shame that's been felt by women through the generations and shame that continues to be felt by young women today. And that was a really important part of this story. The Last Thing She Told Me was selected as a Richard and Judy book club pick, which was a fantastic thing to happen. It was great to have their support and lovely that it brought this book and some of my previous books to a new audience.